We cross now to my colleague Hasina Gori. A very good afternoon, Hasina. Of course, an impassioned plea there that whistleblowers need to be protected. But why go outside of SARS? I mean, it was a SARS employee, and I suppose SARS could not have really foreseen what was going to happen to Ms. Naudé.
Good afternoon, Nompo, and quite an important question of why the location. And to clarify, this was not a protest against SARS, but in solidarity with SARS for the work that it's doing and to show support for the investigations that they're currently ongoing, coming from that just a few weeks ago attempted assassination of Advocate Cloete Naudé. This was their way of coming and showing solidarity with the work that's been done here, but also to show that those that are being intimidated, that there is a civic organization and there's a body of people and organizations that will stand with them and give support to ensure that they do not stop the work that they do, as you heard from the Ahmed Katrada Foundation in that bite that was played just before the crossing, saying that they will not be intimidated, that they will not stop doing what needs to be done. And as you understand, this killing of or the attempted assassination of Advocate Cloete Naudé comes not in isolation or in its own silo, but with the double murder of two of the court-appointed curators that were also involved in this matter, but in other matters, and reports show that they were also linked to the specific case that we currently find Advocate Naudé also part of. That is the case of alleged businesswoman, controversial businesswoman Shauwn Mkhize, of her alleged tax evasion running in the millions. And I've been told by the SARS Deputy Commissioner, who we spoke to earlier on, when they were handed over the memorandum, that this investigation is still ongoing and that they are close to concluding that matter, even beyond the attempt on Naudé. But I want to bring in the family of the Murrays, the wife of Thomas. Thank you so much for being with us. Condolences. It's been a year since the incident. Can you tell us what has been life like for your family since then, and have you got support, just following that incident?
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the time. It's been very empty. Our lives have been very empty with that void. Thomas was also my colleague, and he was my husband and the father of my child. Have we gotten support? Yes, sufficiently. I don't really believe that. We have been on our own very much. So that's the sad fact of the matter. All that we've really received information is that the case that they were involved in on the day that they were tragically killed, two of the accused have been arrested, specifically with the fraud case.
We're here today outside the SARS, and you and your family, came out here. Why was it important for you to come and be part of this picket that's happening?
Because I believe that Thomas can't be forgotten. I still believe in South Africa. I still believe in democracy, and I still believe in justice. And I don't think it is fair to just sit behind my computer and, I took off work to have other people stand for Thomas. I think that it's important that the family should be involved as well and stand with them.
Thank you so much, and we hope that as it goes forward, you get the justice and closure that the family needs at this time. Both the father and husband of Mena were killed tragically last year in March 2023 when they were returning home from one of the investigations that they were currently working on. They were killed on the highway between Melrose Arch and Pretoria on their way home, and they're just some of those that have lost their lives. This is 3 years also of Babita Deokaran. This earlier last week, we paid tribute and memory of her life that was cut short when she became a whistleblower, part of an investigation with the SIU into the Gauteng Health Department. I want to bring in from Whistleblower House, Cynthia Simple. Thank you so much for being here. You've been part and, quite involved with whistleblowers in South Africa. We've spoken on Babita Deokaran, on Advocate Naudé, and the various others who have, come out and spoken. What needs to be done to ensure that those that want to ensure justice is brought and that corruption is weeded out can do so without risking their lives?
We need a holistic protection of whistleblowers. It starts with the legislation, obviously, and secondly, it's the enforcement of the legislation. You may have the best legislation, but if it's not enforced, it's not abided, then it means nothing. It's not worth the paper it is written on. So that's the first step that we're going to need. We need organizations to work together, government, corporates, and allow spaces for people to speak out, that they must not be victimized, retaliated against, or a stigma attached to speaking out for the truth. There should be the laws and protection around the whistleblowers, there should be no retaliation done. The minute that is done, the perpetrator, the organization who is creating the retaliation, there should be sanctions done against them. This is not in any of the legislation, and that's why people can get away with all the atrocities and the murders, assassinations currently happening to people that speak out. There also needs to be funding done for whistleblowers, because whistleblowers have to pay for their own legal costs, and when they speak out and they are pushed out of the organizations, they cannot find employment. So they literally lose all the assets they built up over the years, and all for standing up for the truth. So there needs to be some fund to support these whistleblowers to rebuild their lives and re-get back their dignity.
When we speak on the support for the whistleblowers, we look at someone like Babita Deokaran, who lost her life. And while 6 people have been held accountable, they are just seen as the person or the people that pull the trigger, and the paymasters still at large. How, as someone who's working with these organizations and working with whistleblowers, what is the sentiment when they see these actions happening and this being the course of justice?
I think it's despair from the families, as you've seen with the Cloete family, despair with Babita Deokaran's family and many others who found that justice is not being served. And so how then can we remedy that, and how can we fix it? I know that we do have law enforcement organizations like the NPA, the Hawks, our SAPS, etc. There needs to be more in-depth, I would say, for them, committed to ensuring that they do the proper investigations and that they do hold people accountable. Right now, the way our judiciary system is working, everything is in slow motion. It takes years before they can solve a crime, years before a matter gets to court, years before justice is served. And if there can be just the concerted effort that how do we now improve all these structures so that we can start enforcing the law, start bringing the perpetrators to book, and start holding people accountable, which I believe can be done, but we need to see the political will for that.
Thank you so much. That was Whistleblower House's Cynthia Simple speaking to us here outside the SARS building in Pretoria, where members of various civic organizations, including Defend Our Democracy, OUTA, as well as Ahmed Kathrada Foundation, came out in support and solidarity with SARS following the attempted assassination of Advocate Coreth Naudé.